G'day Aussie Gridiron fans, welcome to the G'day Gridiron podcast brought to you by the Aussie Gridiron Network. This is an NFL podcast where we try and talk some semblance of NFL despite the fact that we are in the mystery period, which is June, July in the NFL season. Everybody's here this evening for something we've been doing a little bit of over the past month, which is a deep dive into a team. And that team this evening is the Denver Broncos. We've also got a little bit of a game that we're going to spring on Brad a bit later on, so make sure you stick around for that. Speaking of Brad, educator to the masses in Queensland, how are we, Brad?
Doing well. It's I'm full up on sports. It's a great time to be alive. We got the NBA finals happening, so football is still very relevant. But yeah, it's a fantastic time.
It is a fantastic time for sport, Isaac. How are you this evening?
I'm very well, and Ian, if you were a bit more prepared with that, you could have said Brad to the Mathers.
Yeah,
man, please.
The ultimate dad joke.
Somebody's a dad. Yep.
Thank you.
And we do have our G'day Gridiron NBA correspondent and new house owner, Nick. How are you, mate? New digs?
Yes, so this is my home office, which is still empty at the moment, so we get to hang up stuff. But yeah, in the coming weeks, have some stuff behind me, hopefully. So yeah, but no, all settled in over the long weekend, so that was a bit of a blessing to have that. But yeah, pretty keen. Like Brad said, NBA finals on in the meantime, World Cup month, so very exciting time of year.
It is a super exciting time of year. NBA finals are on. What a fantastic final series. Everyone was thinking Knicks in 4, Nick. But they went down to the Spurs just yesterday. It's been very close so far. What a great... I love it when NBA finals are actually close.
It's the best. It absolutely is. And we were talking before you hopped on in the green room just how good this series is, and it's amazing how the Knicks seemed like they had all the momentum, and everybody's New York in 4, whatever, and then San Antonio goes and wins one game, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, it's all back on. So no, it's just a fantastic, and it's the way the game should be played. Isaac made the point earlier that they're letting them foul. They're letting them play physical, which is what I like.
There's two teams that play really physical, so they really have to. They're not going to call every foul because otherwise everyone would be fouled out. But I thought that third game, the Knicks were going to sort of close in because they'd sort of had those really good second quarters and they sort of were pulling away, and then the Spurs adjusted. So it took them a while, but they finally got there in the end. So all the road teams have won so far, so that should mean by the time, on back to game 5, should be all squared up. So it'll make a great series. I do hope, there's a small part of me that wants the Knicks to win. I do want to see that city just go absolutely mental.
Yeah.
And it's been so long for them. I feel like the Spurs are going to have a few swings at it with Wemby there, but the Knicks, it really has to be their year this year. Plus, I'm in it to see what happens with that city, because I think that Statue of Liberty is going to be in the water if they win. It's going to be actually in the water.
Yeah, I'm along the lines with you, Nick. I think this is probably the Knicks' best chance to win it. Like they've had a nicer run into the finals. Boston haven't been as strong this year, and the Spurs are going to have many more shots at it down the road. They've got a great young core in Castle, Harper, and Wembanyama. So I want to see the Knicks win. They haven't won it in a while. Spurs have just come back into another dynasty. So it's like, let someone else win it.
Yeah, I would just... I have to agree. Knicks winning would seem great. I mean, yesterday's loss was the first loss since April 23rd. It's an insane run. That is an insane run. And I think it would have been even better to for them to have won that game, to even win this final series in 4. Whilst it would be sort of anticlimactic to not go all the way through to even game 7. I think which this deserves to be honest. I think if they would have just won out, that would have been a phenomenal run all time. So.
And I don't know if you know this, guys, but do you know who is responsible for that?
Apparently Donald Trump.
Does anyone watch the WWE? Danhausen? And he uncursed the Knicks.
That's who I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, remember?
And he won 12
couldn't remember
straight.
who it was. Yeah.
Bloody beautiful. Danhausen.
That's awesome. They blamed it on Trump because he showed up, and he hadn't showed up to a game in years. So that was the curse.
He was the first sitting president to ever come to an NBA Finals game.
So it is his fault then.
Yeah.
There you go.
All the world's problems can't be Donald Trump's fault, surely.
It's absolutely his fault.
Oh.
Unreal. Righto. The other big thing that is coming up, starting this weekend?
Friday.
Where am I? What date am I? I don't even know what date it is. It's been a hell of a time in my world. Friday, the World Cup. What a time to be alive. Every 4 years we get a World Cup. There's a lot of people that do get excited about round ball. I'm one of them. I'm less excited after last night's debacle with the Musselbrook Eagles. But the World Cup does definitely get me excited. I got destroyed last night.
No.
I got slaughtered in every way of the word. Trust me.
Awesome.
And it wasn't a fun night for Ian between the sticks. So,
Let me know when to stop.
Goalpost, right?
Yeah.
Stop.
Need toes.
Stop. You don't need toes, Nick, but you definitely need every finger.
Oh, man.
That's what she said.
I was 7 deep before they scored 1.
Ouch.
Before we scored 1, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a debacle. Anyway, the World Cup won't be such a debacle. It starts Friday, so pool rounds will obviously start then with all the groups. We are in a hell of a group with the very plucky United States who think they're going to win out. Who the hell are these people? Have you heard this chant?
Yeah.
It sounds like a KFC ad.
Oh, it's horrible. It is horrible.
What?
I haven't brought. I should have brought it up for Brad because there's no way Brad would have seen this.
They have a chant about how they're going to win.
It's not like a good English soccer chant either. It is like we
They've
are
tried.
this, we are that, we are. And he's like, oh god, that's horrible.
It's just
You
okay.
can hear the cringe.
But yeah,
Relatively hear it.
relatively speaking, for our Socceroos, it's quite a good group to be in, and there's a good chance for us to progress to the next round. So, I think it's going to come down to the United States Socceroos game of who finishes second in that group to Turkey.
So you're saying Turkey's going to win?
And Turkey's going to win the group.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got a few good young midfielders and attacking players, and I heard someone today say that if we start in that first game, because we play Turkey first, if we start Lecky and someone else in the midfield, we're hoping to be 0-0 at halftime. To then bring on Irakondu and to try and get a goal. But Turkey is quite an underdog in this World Cup. I see them going quite far.
Wow. When you need deep World Cup analysis, come here to G'day Gridiron with Isaac.
Yeah,
Why not?
I don't mind the World Cup, and
We could start an off-season soccer pod. We'll be fine.
being in America, it's time friendly for us. Like we can watch the games during the day, so it helps.
That's true.
It's just unfortunate that America isn't friendly for anybody else.
Yeah.
Do you think they care?
I don't know how half the teams are getting into the country with the Facebook and social media standards they've got.
They're not.
One of the refs didn't make it in. Did you hear that?
One of the refs might not
denied
make it.
visas.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, one of the refs I don't think can get
There's a
in.
lot of the African teams.
Go on. Sorry, Isaac. Go.
Oh, one of the refs got denied at the border. He's been
Are
sent
you
home.
for real?
Yeah. I can't remember who it is. I seen it on social media today. Yeah, but he's been said he didn't get in.
How does that even happen? Like, seriously, how would that not be already cleared up
Yeah,
and
you would think so.
verified?
But
Yeah, all the teams, all the referees should already have visas.
Yeah.
Should just be in.
Yeah.
But again, yeah, it's the same reason I've been saying that I can't go to the US whilst this administration is in office, because there is no way I'm getting past their new social media standards, because the nonsense that I post on social media and stuff like this, where I talk about stuff on a podcast weekly,
Goodness
and
me.
definitely, don't like what's happening over there. I'd never get in. But you'd think that they would clear all this sort of stuff up for a World Cup. You know,
and,
They
They
don't-
don't want the money. They've probably
No.
spent how many millions on this?
don't want the money. Have you
God.
heard some of these prices?
Oh, mate.
Unbelievable.
That's what I mean.
$150 for a train ticket to get into Jersey. Like, what is this?
FIFA is the worst
Crazy.
for not wanting the money. Jesus Christ! Like,
Crazy.
I can't stand that this World Cup is the first time we've got 48 teams in the World Cup. Like, we've got a
And they're
round
thinking
of
of expanding
32.
it.
It's
The
ridiculous.
next one, they're thinking of expanding it to 66 teams. So a
It is
third
crazy.
of the Earth is going to be in the World Cup. It's,
Well,
it's
that's
so
right.
diluted.
What's the point of qualifying? Like,
Well, this is
That's-
going to be the first time that America gets to actually see what an actual world champion looks like, though.
Well, they've had the
that
World
is
Cup before.
that is true. But yeah, I really don't like how it's 48 teams. Like that part where John Aloisi got us into the World Cup for the first time. You're never going to get that anymore, because it's so, like Nick said, it's so diluted that and it's such a money grab that it's just ridiculous.
Are you
So
saying,
what did
are you
he-
saying that Uzbekistan aren't going to do any good in Group
Oh,
K?
mate.
Well,
There's
Cabo
some-
Verde.
Oh, yeah, there's some
Congo.
islands team in there. It's just like, what? God.
So I'm assuming it used to be 32 teams.
Yeah, so they've got
Yeah,
a round
32.
of 32 this time.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have the
So
groups.
they've added 16 more teams.
Yeah. So you get the group spread, then you get round of 32, then 16, then quarters, then semis.
8 teams that finish third qualify for the next
Yeah.
round. That's so.
It's
I think
bigger version of the
the
Euros.
first elimination is 16 teams. Like, what the fuck is the point? Yeah. Anyway,
Switch. Yeah. We're just because we were talking about the NBA, we can talk about it later. Not at all. But how are you guys impressed that the NBA is going to go European? And then they're bringing in a whole 12 teams from Europe. I'm assuming you all heard that.
No, I hadn't
Uh-huh.
heard that at all.
Oh
Well,
yeah, no,
when
they're
are they doing
starting.
this?
With that for a while.
Yeah, but they said it is official. Starting in 27, 28, they're going to bring in a whole European league into the NBA.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
But see, that
So are
dilutes it again, because so many of their superstars are already European. And I think you're just
So that's not going
diluting.
to work out well for the American teams.
I don't
No.
think so, because you'll
No,
get a lot of the
not at
Europeans
all.
that'll want to stay over in Europe.
And
Yeah.
particularly if they actually grab teams that are existing teams, so not like make up franchises. Like if they grab existing teams from
Mhm.
Europe
Mhm.
with their club's history and everything, they're cooked. There's no way. There's no
You
way
know-
that with all those guys will go back and play for those teams.
you know who else is cooked? The NBL, because we have such a strong league down here, and all the imports come down here and want to make it back to the NBA. They're
Yep.
just going to go to the European leagues and
Yeah.
play in the NBA. So it's just going to dilute our league even more as well.
Probably. Yep. Yeah.
So, World Cup. Has anybody got any predictions for the final? Who's going to make it to the final? I know Isaac will. We know that the World Cup correspondent Isaac Coonerty will definitely have some kind of prediction.
Brackets.
So let's go Nick or Brad first. Have you quick look at a bracket? Have you
I've-
any guesses?
Go Nick.
I mean, the cookie cutter answer is Spain, France, but after actually doing the bracket, they're on the same side, so they can't actually play each other in the final unless someone finishes second in their group, which won't happen. So in that case, I am going a final of Spain and Portugal. I do want Portugal to win for Ronaldo, but I don't think they'd beat Spain in the final. They're so good up front, and midfield's really good. So I think Spain will take it out. They've probably got the best. Well, I think France has got the best overall squad, but I think Spain is right there with them.
I am. I'm going with my heritage, and I am actually going to
Jesus.
go.
Canada.
I am going with Norway. Thank you. That is my dark horse pick. Yeah,
Brad is Norwegian.
Yeah,
I could tell by that white pasty skin and blonde hair, Brad.
That's Danish and Dutch.
Sorry,
are not that way. Yeah, so my grandparents and all of them were there from Norway, so I'm going Norway, the Norwegians. I don't know who they'd be playing against because I don't know the brackets. So I'll say it's going to be a Norway-US final. How's that?
Jesus, I don't think they can actually by doing my bracket.
Yeah, maybe not. They'd have to beat Norway. Would have to beat France, so that's the start.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Actually, find my bracket.
I think every year with me, since I started watching World Cups, it's always been a bit of a favoritism towards Germany.
Yeah, okay.
And that mostly came from the fact that my stepfather is German and all his side of the family, and that they were the ones that sort of got me a bit more into football. But it does set up well. I think Nick's point of the certain teams on one side of the bracket, on the right hand side of the bracket, is the one that I'm looking at. On that French side, like France and Spain both being on that one side, that definitely sets up well for the other side for teams like Brazil or Portugal or Germany. Like it really does set up well for them. So I don't know. Germany. I instantly went Germany-France. That was sort of when I was looking at some things.
Yeah.
Okay, and now to the official answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my bracket that I did, but the one you really want to see, like I'm with Nick. I think it's Spain, Portugal in the final, but I'm going with Portugal the other way, just because they've got an easier run. So I think Spain have to come through the France, Germany bracket side, as where Portugal have to get through Argentina one if they win their groups and then win in the round of 32. I think they. Portugal and Argentina play in the round of 16, which is unfortunate because it would be nice to get to a quarterfinal or a semi-final with Messi versus Ronaldo. But I'm ultimately doing it for Ronaldo. You want to? It's the only thing he hasn't won, right? He's won everything else but the World Cup, and Messi did it in last time. He won the World Cup. He got his World Cup win. So, I, as much as I'm not overly a fan of Ronaldo, I'd like to see him win a World Cup.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the brackets real quick, just around Spain. Winning Group H would mean that they go against second in Group J, which would be Algeria, Austria, or Jordan. Because Argentina are in that group. So assuming that Argentina win Group J.
I think it's the next round of 16. I think they...
And in the 16, they would go against
Germany.
Second in K and L. So that would be, Colombia, Uzbekistan, or Congo versus Croatia, Ghana, Panama. Oh, my God. Okay, yeah. See how this dilutes? Exactly what the boys are talking about. And the further you dilute this, the worse these round of 32 and round of 16 matchups become.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
If you want to play a bit of Supercoach during the NFL off-season, of course, our friends and good mates on the Aussie NFL Supercoach podcast, that is Taylor and Maddie, do a lot of Supercoach stuff now. They have put out a Supercoach World Final competition, or World Cup, competition. You can win a $50 Rebel Sport gift card. If you go to YouTube, the league code is on the screen right now for that competition. Basically, go into your Supercoach, go and enter, pick a team name, because that's going to be one of the hardest things ever. League code is 86885, but of course, you can just go to YouTube or have a look at the boys' Instagram, Aussie NFL Supercoach. You will find that Linktree /Aussie Gridiron Network, of course, for all of the social links to everything on the network. Go and enter that. Have a shot. I might actually have a shot at Supercoach for this, I think. I'll give it a go.
I've done my team tonight already.
I'm usually staunchly against Supercoach because of the NRL one forever annoyed me 15 years ago, and now I don't ever want to do it again. But I might give it a go just to put my toe back in the water.
Nice.
We'll see. Dip a toe in for the World Cup. You certainly can't lose 10-4.
You said you could send it 7.
I said I was 7 deep before they scored one, Nick. I didn't say I didn't concede more.
Should have left it with that.
All right, let's get on to this evening's main event, and that is a deep dive into the Denver Broncos. Now, the Broncos finished 2025 in a very, very good position, making it all the way to the championship game, where they did properly lose. They were winners of AFC West, made it through playoffs. So they're a very different position in 2026 than they were at this time 12 months ago. So instead of being that trendy sleeper team, they're now being talked about as legitimate AFC contenders. Of course, the biggest story out of last season was the emergence of Bo Nix. After a very strong rookie season, Nix helped the Broncos return to relevance, while Sean Payton continued to build his specialty disciplined, efficient offense all around Bo Nix, and the defense remained one of the NFL's strongest units for much of 2025. This season so far, they have made one very, very big trade on offense, which is acquiring Jalen Waddle from the Miami Dolphins. But it still does leave a few big questions, and that would be, can the offense become elite, and do they have the efficient depth and skill level to handle those expectations that are being placed upon them and put in the spotlight? Brad, do you want to kick us off on a little bit about the Denver Broncos as we dive deep?
Yeah, you touched upon a lot of their stuff, and what amazes me is, you and I have said this, we're not the biggest Sean Payton fans in the world, and I think a lot of that has to do just because of his arrogance, more than anything. But I got to give him props. What he has done with this team, you can't deny that he hasn't done an amazing job with them. He, turned this cap disaster, the Russell Wilson cap disaster. He's turned that around, and in 3 seasons, he was basically a backup 3 points and a backup quarterback on the road from making it to the Super Bowl. So what he has done has been pretty impressive. He was, the number 1 seed and what have you. And it was unfortunate to see Nix kind of end the way he did the season with breaking his ankle. But they are, I think, locked and loaded for just having a great season. I love if I just talk about their coaching staff a little bit beyond Peyton, I love what they did, because one of Peyton's weaknesses, what they said, was that his play calling was really slow, that he was just real deliberate and stuff, and they were not able to capitalize on tempo. And so what do? They promote Davis Webb, who got a lot of interest from other teams. They promote him to offensive coordinator, and already you're hearing in OTAs just teams the defense just praising him and saying that the tempo is going to be a lot better. Apparently he simplified the play calling quite a bit, so that's supposed to help things as well. So I love the Davis Webb hire. It's kind of weird thinking that a guy who was drafted in 2017 is now already an offensive coordinator. So I mean, he's a better coach than he was a player, because he wasn't a very good player. But yet he still made it in the league. And then defensively, I love the resurgence of Vance Joseph. And it wasn't that long ago that this guy had 70 points hung on him. Some people may remember the 73 Miami game. But he has that defense. They're legit. They're scary. That secondary especially is really, really scary. So I don't want to talk about the whole team and steal everybody's thunder, but just in terms of that coaching staff, I love what they're doing. I really, really do. So I think they've got a huge upside. They've got two really good coordinators. I know that, obviously Webb hasn't done anything yet. Realistically, he's called one preseason game with playoffs. So we don't know what we're going to get with Davis Webb, but what will success look like for him? I think it's a top 8 offense, really. And I'm going to be really intrigued with what they do with Waddle. But I'll throw it to one of these guys in terms of that. What do you guys think of that wide receiver room? Because now I think it's legit.
Better. Top 8 overall seems a bit generous. I think that's very much dependent on if Bo Nix is really going to take a leap. They're good where it matters, though. I must say they're good where it matters. So defense as a whole is excellent, but they're good where it matters on both sides of the trenches. Their O-line has, improved so much. Their D-line's they're really good up front. So the only thing that really sort of concerns me with Denver is I don't know if anyone sort of had a look into how their schedule starts. But it's pretty rough. They go to the Chiefs first, Jacksonville at home, the Rams at home, to San Francisco, to the Chargers, and then Seattle. So that's the first 6 weeks. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough to open. So there's no real, sort of let up. There's no breathing room for them. Like if they could easily be, even after 6 games, which is pretty much, 3 games is what they lost last season for the whole year. So it's a very tough start. So it's going to be interesting now. They'll get the first place schedule. They've done, like you said earlier, Brad, they've done well. They've cleared out Russell Wilson's dead cap now completely. So they've just got to keep those guys that are coming through. So, they've got Nick Bonito, who they've just paid. Obviously, at some point, they've got to pay Bo Nix. They've just signed Jalen Waddle. In terms of their wide receiver room, it's definitely upgraded. I think Waddle turns into their number 1 now. I'll be surprised if Sutton is still their number 1. But it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of respond emotionally, considering that they got to the point of, yep, we beat Buffalo, an experienced playoff team. Bo Nix probably plays the best game he ever has, considering the circumstances. His biggest game he's ever played in, considering the year before they got blown out of the park in Buffalo. And then they had their heart ripped out from them, obviously with the news of Bo Nix, and they almost got over the line as well, and somehow almost limped to the Super Bowl. So the emotional toll, how they recover from that, is going to be the biggest thing with that start, because that's a very tough first 6 weeks, coupled with how they ended that last season. So could be a bit dangerous for them.
So last year, if you remember when we were talking about the champion Seattle Seahawks, what did we like most about them? And that was their defense, right? We said they had an elite defense, Super Bowl winning defense. I've got some stats here that show that arguably Denver had a better defense than Seattle last year. So total yards allowed, Denver was second in the league. Seattle was 6th. Passing yards allowed, Denver was 7th. Seattle was 10th. Rushing yards allowed, Denver was 2nd. Seattle was 3rd. So they had all the ingredients there for a Super Bowl run. They just, like you guys are saying, if Bo Nix didn't hurt himself, would we have seen them in the Super Bowl? And just looking at their depth chart, I agree with Nick that Waddle's going to become their number 1 and Sutton will go to their number 2. The only downside is probably the running back room that's a little off. Now, what I see happening is good old Alvin Kamara, who's over in New Orleans, who's probably the RB2 now, will come over. I think he's going to come over and really bolster that running back room, and that may push him over the edge.
That running back room scares me because you saw what happened when J.K. Dobbins, who was their starter, went down last season. He's one of the most explosive backs when he is healthy, but that's the key. When the dude is healthy, he has played in approximately 47 out of a possible 101 career games. So he's not even played in half the games that he's eligible for. So if they can't get a consistent ground game, then I think it's really gonna hurt them. If he stays healthy, great, that's fine. They you've got a B level running back room that I would say. RJ Harvey is great at catching balls out of the backfield. But when it comes to between the tackles, he can't really do it. And he did all right in the playoffs. But, so how do they counteract that? They go and draft Jonathan Coleman, rookie, and he's going to be kind of your ground and pound and in between the tackles. So I like what they did there, but that group has to, A, stay healthy, and I think B, has to step it up a little bit. But, the reason I kind of threw that wide receiver room to you guys is because I think they're going to be arguably one of the best in the NFL, that room. I think with Sutton and Waddle. Sutton was one of the most double-teamed wide receivers in the league last year. And what was happening was teams were going and switching gradually more and more. They were switching to a man-to-man. They were playing Sutton and then rolling the safeties over the top of him. And now you're not going to be able to do that because now you've got Waddle. So Sutton's going to get more single coverage than he's ever received. So I just think, and Nix, I'll admit I've been wrong about him every time. I really didn't think he was going to take this kind of progression. And if he can continue, then I think the sky's the limit for this offense, at least from a passing perspective.
I worry about the. I think Nick mentioned it there in the schedule. The first 6 weeks, there's the strength of schedule argument as well. So just thrown up there on YouTube. Their 15th hardest strength schedule in the league. Last year, they had the second easiest schedule in the entire league.
Big difference.
And there's a huge difference in the way the league is at the moment, especially when there are teams with the easiest schedules down the bottom. It is funny that all the teams at the bottom, in terms of the easiest schedules, are the ones that are also technically at the bottom of the league this season. So I think that changes things a lot. But when you have teams like the Ravens and the Eagles and even the Bucks below you in terms of ease of strength of schedule, then that matters a lot. But there's such a huge change from last year to this year.
Massive. It's who did you say they got week 3? Is it the Rams?
Yes. Yeah.
That game, that's going to be an awesome game, I think, in my opinion. And I know they play the Chiefs twice in the first 8 games, which I thought was kind of weird. But I think that Rams Denver game, I think you're going to get a good idea of how legitimate both teams are. I mean, we all know they're both legit, but I think that's going to be by far one of Denver's biggest tests throughout this season. It'll be, my concern is on that team is on the defensive side, that those linebackers, because they cut what's his name, Nick Greenlaw. Yeah. So they cut Greenlaw and they didn't really replace him with anybody. So they're putting a lot of trust in that linebacker room with Alex Singleton and Justin Stannard. And I don't see it working. And they didn't really draft anybody. The last pick of the draft, I think they had the Mr. Irrelevant. and they get a linebacker. So that's the one that concerns me, because that secondary is, you could argue it's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and they've had a bit of turmoil this offseason too. They're just reading here that Jonathan Cooper was arrested for on charges, so that you'll have to wait and see where that plays out. That's another linebacker you're talking about there. So that's another issue they've got to face. But yeah, just looking at their schedule, then wowee. Yeah, it's going to be a rough start for Denver, and it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of it.
Yeah. Well, this is this is why the NFL is a gauntlet, and why why there's so much drama every week to week. It all matters. And I think this team exemplifies that, in that every week you can't take it off, and so you got to wonder, are they going to be able to get out of this victorious?
Brad, what does success look like for the Denver Broncos in 2026?
Super Bowl. I think so. I really do. I think I think if they don't, considering how close they got with a backup quarterback, and they've upgraded that offense tremendously, I think if they don't get to the Super Bowl, then it'll probably be considered a disappointment, at least by Broncos faithful, and I think people that generally follow football pretty closely.
We think, as a general, my answer would sort of be the same. Like, obviously, they got to the AFC Championship game. There's a lot of arguments that said that they should have gone through. Obviously, didn't have that stupid play call where they got Bo Nix to center the kneel down, as opposed to just kneeling it down where it was. So I think they would at least love to get back to the championship game. Obviously, you've got those teams that have been strong in that conference before that are coming back now. The Chiefs, probably the Ravens. The Bengals might have another crack at it. My question, though, is that, do you guys think that they're closer to being, so they won 14 games last year, are they closer to winning half of that, or winning back to that 14 games again? Like, what are they closer to? That's I can't break. Like, are they closer to 7-10 or 14-3?
Well, I think in the middle for me, but I think it's still closer to 7-10. I think it's more like 10-7. Like, my eyebrows raise at the fact that Brad's saying success is Super Bowl, because you're basically saying Super Bowl or nothing. But when you look at the strength of schedule, and yes, they've added pieces and they've gotten better on paper, but when you look at the schedule, what other teams around them are doing, especially in their own division, I think 10-7 is sort of a good mark to shoot for. I think getting to 14 is, I think, your success mark in terms of games. And I don't think you don't worry about what happens in the playoff side. I think you're still building. I don't think they need Super Bowl straight away. Is what I'm getting at. I don't think that's. I think with what they're building and what's building around them, Super Bowl in 27, 28 should be the target, because I think you can make an all-time run if you build it right through this season as well.
True. Okay. I'm just not sure, because when you get to that point, obviously, there's a lot of, you only get so many opportunities, obviously, but particularly with a team that leans so much on their defense tend to not sort of last as long in terms of, how good can they stay at the top for so long, as history will probably show. So I just wonder how, if obviously, they're still building, they're still playing for the future, but let's say they get back to that spot where they're in the AFC Championship game, and let's say, they're all healthy and they get blown out of the water, then it's sort of like, well, are we making the right progress? Was it a Bo Nix thing? Was it, you start asking some sort of questions, because you got to try and figure out how you get over the hump. And I know it's a tough conference and everything, but you also don't want to be sitting around wasting time, because otherwise you turn into sort of almost another Buffalo, really.
Yeah. Isaac, I saw your eyebrows raise at that same suggestion as mine, at that same comment.
Yeah, I just, I just can't get over their division. Like they've got 6 games within their division that they have to. That I think last year they won most of them. I would say. I think they. I'd have to go back and have a look, but like Kansas City, they
4-2.
thankfully, Kansas City they've got in the first 9 weeks. I think so. Maybe Mahomes isn't back. I don't know. You might catch them at a good time, but you got the Chargers. They've gotten better. Not saying Denver haven't gotten better, but I think this year their division is going to be a lot tougher than what they expect, and that's where they can drop a couple of games, which falls them potentially to a wild card. You're not playing so many games at home in Denver, which is a hard place to travel to with the altitude and all that type of stuff. So, I think success for them this year will be playoffs. I don't know about Super Bowl this year. It's very hard to go back to back to where they're going, but I wouldn't put it past them. Like with that addition of Waddle, if their defense can stay the same, like I wouldn't put it past them. So it's a bit hard to read Denver, and always injuries come into it too. So I think, I don't know. Playoffs for me would be success.
If I had to put an over-under, I'd probably say 12 games. It would be the over-under.
Under.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're going to win the 14 games, but I think 10-7 would be their worst. I would say, and for me, the floor I think is the wild card, and like I've already said, I think the ceiling is that Super Bowl.
We'll get to all the under-over projections and things later on in the coming months when we do all the teams during August. But currently, right now, their line is set at 9.5.
Okay.
So
that's lower than I thought. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a symptom of that schedule, Brad.
Yeah.
So that's where they're currently sitting. Anyway, that's what we think about the Denver Broncos. Love to know any of your thoughts on that. If you've got any other thoughts on what you think the Denver Broncos are going to be in 2026, as always, you can just comment to us on either on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you want. Send us through. Even on this podcast, if you're on Spotify, or you can also leave a comment there on the podcast. We'll do some more deep dives as we go along through the year. Let's play a game. Let's hit Brad with a game. He has no idea about this. We told him he was going to play a game, and we wouldn't tell him what. So he has zero idea. We just told him that it was going to be a challenge that would be befitting of his NFL history knowledge. Now, of course, when we talk NFL history knowledge around the Aussie Gridiron Network, we always defer to Manjot because that dude is an encyclopedia when it comes to NFL history. But we don't have Manjot. We have Brad.
That's like saying we don't have a beauty queen. We have a one-eyed hunchback.
Brad, we're going to play a game that's been out in the internets, in the interwebs, called 20-0. And essentially this is, can you go 20-0? 20-0 is a game, Brad, where you choose a roster, a free pro football roster building game, essentially. So it spins up, it gives you a year, it gives you a team, you get to pick a player off that, you build a roster. QB, wide receiver, running back, a couple of flex.
Based off the year.
Yeah, so you draft the best player you can into an open roster slot, and then you fill out your roster across offense and defense if you want. I'll give you an option.
Jeez.
And then it simulates the season, and you find out, can your team go 20-0?
This is cool.
So, Brad, I'm going to be kind to you for the first shot. You can choose both sides, offense and defense, or we can go offense only. Which would you like to do?
Oh, we'll just go offense only, just to keep it simple.
All right, we can. Listen to Nick.
Come on, you got to have both sides, man.
Righto, let's go. All teams. We're going to go all teams, all eras.
Okay,
so you see those eras in there, Brad? Pre-1999 99 to 2005, 2006 to 2010, 11 to 15, 16 to 2020, and 21 to 2025. So you ready?
Okay. The eras. Okay, that's going to be hard. All right.
All right. Spin it up. So it's given us Chicago 2016 to 2020. So as you see down the
Otherwise
bottom here,
known as crap.
So as you see down the bottom here, Brad, we've got to draft a QB, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and 2 flex positions. Okay, and we get 1 reroll.
Okay.
So
Holy
1
hell.
over this entire thing. 1 reroll, Brad. So QBs, who are we thinking?
No.
You don't have to choose anyone off this, but this is the whole era. Remember,
Right.
16 to 2020. So what? And you can see here also being kind.
Okay, so they do give you their stats.
Yeah, so that's their best year. Essentially, is the stats it's giving. So you see, like Dave Montgomery there, his best year, 2020, 1,000 rushing yards, 54 receptions, 8 TDs, that kind of thing. So these are the players you got to choose from. Oh my god, Mitch Trubisky, baby, Nick Foles, let's go.
Give me
Robinson.
Yeah, give me down to the wide receivers there.
Wide receivers, Robinson.
Yeah, look.
It also it also puts them in order of best to worst, by the way.
Okay, does it? Yep. Okay. All right.
You don't have to choose anyone off this. We can re-roll, or you can just put someone in.
But you only get 1 re-roll, correct?
Over the whole thing, Brad. So you have to be careful
the
with
entire thing. All right. So we are going to. No, I'm not going to re-roll because I just don't want to do that just now.
So re-roll the shit out of that one.
I wouldn't even thought about it. I'll just re-roll it. No way.
No, it's bad, but I mean, come on. All right, we're gonna go Allen Robinson.
You gonna put Allen Robinson?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we're gonna do
There's
it.
the one loss. Hello.
All right. Do you want to put him in as your wide receiver? We'll just stick him in as a wide receiver, shall we?
Yeah. Just put him in as a wide receiver.
All right. Next team up, we're gonna go Tennessee, 11 to 15.
What? They're just trying to give me crap. I mean,
I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this team is not going to go 20-0.
Man, come on. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Hasselbeck, come on.
I am not touching any of those quarterbacks.
All right, running backs.
Chris Johnson was the only decent one in that era. I wouldn't touch them.
Wide receivers.
Hell to the no.
Tight ends.
No, re-roll, baby. That's why I saved that re-roll.
Oh, yes, Tennessee, 99 to 2005.
Oh, Neil O'Donnell. Oh, my gosh. No, okay. Oh, my gosh.
All right, here on out, Brad, you got to choose someone from everyone.
Yeah, I do. All right. Okay, this is between, go back up, running back. This is between Eddie George, who was legit, or quarterback Steve McNair. So, because McNair had a really good season, but
24-7 season.
Yeah, no. And all right, we are going
what do you want to you could go McNair and you could possibly end up with a better running back later, or you could
this is just it. I mean,
I believe Nick the flex position is quarterback as well, is it?
No,
it's not.
Running back, receiver, tight end.
Ooh, so there we go. Traditional flex,
a skill position. All right, we're doing it, folks. We're gonna roll the dice. Steve McNair is my quarterback.
All right, love it.
All right,
here we go. 2007 New England Patriots.
Cincinnati, 99 to 2005.
You gotta be kidding me.
This is the worst set I've ever seen.
No, you gotta pick.
I've got Chad Johnson, but
yeah. HIC, sure, baby.
Goodness me.
All right, we get tight ends. No.
Yeah, no. We're going Chad Johnson. So
okay, we're gonna go Chad Johnson.
Yeah,
we're gonna stick him in a flex position.
Not gonna lie, if you got these and you had defense in here, you would have been able to get some decent defensive players up there.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go. Miami 06 to 2010.
This is seriously? This is rigged. This is rigged.
Hey, Ian, you got a sound effect saying like game over already, or you just fucking
my
go to bed?
man.
Yeah.
He's got to start somewhere. We've got to have a baseline. We could do this every week with Brad right now.
Goodness me, I've never seen a team this. Okay,
Let's just.
You even peak.
You wouldn't have even had a quarterback to pick here anyway, Brad.
not really.
I don't think
no.
Pennington.
Wait, Chad Pennington's not much better.
No,
than
they're not.
Come on,
Their tight ends are
Where's
foul.
Walker? Maybe.
I reckon the tight end would have to be the one.
Fasano?
Randy who? Go down a bit more.
Randy McMichael.
No.
That's just name only.
Michael. Go back.
What do you want to look at, Brad? What are we going to go to?
Running backs. Go up to the running backs.
Chapman, Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams was decent at that time. He was way better when he was younger. But no, I'm taking Ricky.
Ricky Williams?
Yeah, Ricky Williams is my running. He's the guy that Mike Ditka traded the entire draft for.
Are we trying to pick a 20 and
Tennessee
18 or
88 to 97.
Titans
88 to 97.
Oh, goodness me.
0 and 20.
You have got some absolute
Haywood Jeffries was I had him on my fantasy team in like 89, or 90, something like that. So don't knock Haywood Jeffries. All right.
This team's tanking for Manning.
By the way, Brad, this means you missed out on Warren Moon, by the way.
Did too. I gotta take Haywood as my flex.
Haywood Jeffries in the flex.
Yeah. Okay, so this is I'm gonna get the world's worst tight end. Come on, baby.
The world's worst tight end from the Rams, 21 to 25.
What?
Tyler Higbee.
So you've got Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, or Tyler Higbee to pick from, Brad.
I'm winning like 3 games here. This is pathetic.
You gotta go Colby Parkinson here.
No,
you got to go Parkinson because at least he can score touchdowns.
No, I'm going
Tyler Higbee. No, Tyler Higbee actually.
Yeah, I'm going Tyler. I'm going Tyler.
Monster. Righto. Let's see how Brad does, boys. Here we go.
Oh,
14 and 6.
14 and 6.
You're joking.
That
is
is
horrendous.
ridiculous. No way.
No chance.
Real.
That is not a thing.
That is you underestimate how good my team is. All right. Oh, that's an epic game. I like this game.
You can do it for all sorts. NBA.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a huge NBA one. What's that one called? It's Monster, isn't it? Well, it's not
82
20.
and 0.
82 and 0. Yeah.
You only got to do the 5 positions, so it's quick.
Yeah, that would be very
It's a lot quicker than that. So there we go. Quick game with Brad. What do you reckon of that, Brad?
I like that.
Fun.
It's
fun.
I don't know if that would be my all-time favorite team. Like
No, but this is the challenge with 20 and 0.
Team won 14 games, Brandon. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
what did you guys get? Did you guys get a 20 and 0?
I haven't done it.
Cracked it.
Okay.
I got more than 14 and 6. I remember that. But
I got 19 and 1 for one team.
Oh wow.
Spewing.
Okay.
Actually, if we do this every week, Ian, I want you to get the sore guy. I want to play a game.
Okay. We'll get some sound effects
on the
next
graphics.
week. We might just do this. This might be an off-season thing, I reckon. This might be an off-season staple. We'll just
I like
chuck a 14 and 6. See where Brad can get to. We'll keep track of his scores, and we'll see if we can get better, or if he's just going to continually get stitched up by Tennessee Titans teams.
No doubt. I mean, Tennessee, Miami, that was awful.
Couldn't even get any decent ones. The worst part there was the Rams pick at the end because you could have had some much better QBs too.
Oh,
yeah.
You could have Puka.
Well, Baker was one of those QBs at the end for Rams in that era. So
okay, yeah, no, all those, but yeah.
Baker's historic Rams run.
Gee, Winnie Christmas. That's a cool game, though. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too. I'm so grateful people just think of this sort of nonsense shit that you can just sit and play on the internet. So if you want to play that as well, 20-0.com. As we said, you can play it for a lot of other sports, NBA, NHL. There's heaps. So there's heaps out there. Go and find them. You'll find them.
It's the new Wordle.
It is the new Wordle. It's just a lot more fun. Anyway, you can find everything to do with us on our social media, as always, at G'day Gridiron, Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube. You'll be able to watch this, and you'll be able to watch all of those epic picks Brad just had to make on 20-0. So make sure you go and hit up YouTube and throw us a like and a follow there as well, please. We would very much appreciate it. Linktree/Aussie Gridiron Network for all the links to everything to do with AGN, including, as we said, the Aussie NFL Supercoach boys and that World Cup game bracket that you can do. Sorry, Supercoach that you can do and win a $50 Rebels voucher. So see you next week, where we'll figure out what team we might be doing or if there's any news to talk about.
We're going to deep dive Brad's 20-0 team.
We might deep dive Brad's 20-0 team. We might have to check out their historic run. All right. Thank you very much. See you later.